SalteMike literally shaking and vomiting at the idea that something in this game will not have PvP in it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am Montoya. I put out a video a couple of days ago talking about how Star Citizen needs a PvE server. Let me come clean. I know that was a little bit clickbaity. It is it is technically impossible, the way this game is designed, for there to be pure PvE servers. It's just there's too many ways that you can go around it. I don't think we'll ever see a way that there'll be a pure PvE any area in this game, to be clear. But I wanted to take the extreme position on this because I wanted to see the reactions, and Mike delivered perfectly on this. There isn't a clearer example of Twitch privilege than watching some of the Twitch streamers who believe they control the wheel here. They're driving and only their suggestions are the right ones. They have this wonderful parasocial relationship with their viewers who continue to lick their shriveled nutsacks, who just congratulate them on every idea they had. So Mike will sit there and declare that his opinions are the right ones and the best, and he'll also sit and dissect every single thing I say, try to pick it apart. Now, I'm not going to go through Mike's entire video. I have other things to do with my day. But overall, I think he agreed that what we do need is better PvE in this game, and that is something which I believe is coming. So, to the disappointment of some of the comments in my own reply section here, and Joran, hey, how you doing, Joran? Good to see you, friend of the channel. He said something to the effect of, hey, buddy, as leader of the Care Bears, is Care Bears your group, or is just you referring to your group as Care Bears? Sorry, I didn't keep up. I was never actually in favor of splitting things off in the universe Tony Zurvik was designing. Yeah, the Star Citizen was always going to be one big server with everyone in it, and it's still going to be that. Well, let me first read your comment, and then we'll dig in further. I felt he had a solid plan to create something that would be different than other MMOs in the past, but with the new direction CIG management without Tony has chosen, EVE-style MMO, I don't believe they have the interest or that capability. Have they really taken a new direction there? I don't think they've swayed too much from the original goal, but I do believe they need to show us what their intentions are for the PvE side of this game. Now, they've spoken about shield over bases, and we know there's going to be Pyro, which is more PvP, and Stanton, which is less PvP and more PvE focused. But the point I'm making to you guys who are just crying about it as if it's the end of the world is that there is no safe PvE area, period. You go, well, there's Stanton. Yeah, I can jump into my $40 Aurora and go blob 20 player ships right now with zero repercussions to me. There's nothing you can do. So there is no real PvE in this game where you don't get shot at. It's always going to be there. Hardly anybody signed up and spent thousands of dollars supporting building a beautiful immersive Rust in space. Agreed. Hey, doesn't Rust have PvE servers? I haven't played Rust in years, but correct me if I'm wrong. Are there PvE servers in Rust, and how are they doing? If you play, let me know. Comment below. I really think this is the only way we're going to be really successful, and every really big MMO separated PvE and PvP, I think you're trying to say. EVE may be successful, but it's a very small niche audience that loves the toxic hell it became. Yeah, we'll talk about EVE a lot in this video because I think EVE is one of the games with the staying power that is still around. But there's lots of reasons why the system in EVE will not really work well in Star Citizen, and Star Citizen needs to make up its own kind of system, I feel. Maybe some sort of hybrid system where there's a shield around a planet that protects you from ramming or other players shooting at you, plus what EVE has, which is the Concorde, which is the security ships that come in and one-shot you. I don't know exactly where it's going to go. This is why I made that video, is that I want to light this fire under CIG's behind and said it is time to show the silent majority in this game what your plans are for the PvE side. Now, the rest of you guys who are the silent majority, the PvE crowd, don't be afraid of low IQ, stupid people like Jay Grizz, all right? I said in my last video that I've changed. I've gotten older. I've got 2 kids. What I like in games is different. When I first came to Star Citizen, I was coming out of a game called PlanetSide 2. Let's just have Mike in the background while I speak about this. I think Mike had to take like 5 Xanax at the end just to calm down. I was playing a game called PlanetSide 2. before I came to Star Citizen. I love PlanetSide 2. I think it's I haven't logged in over a decade at this point, but I think it's one of the best PvP experiences out there. 1,000 people on the field. You go in, you shoot, you die, you come back, you go in, shoot, die, you come back. That's the kind of PvP I like. And so when it came to Star Citizen, I was very much interested in the PvP side. But as this game has developed and grown, I've realized that I'm very much enjoying the game mechanics, the beauty of it, the travel, the sound design. I'm enjoying so much of what the PvE has to offer. Also, my reaction is not there with the PvP crowd anymore. I have no problem in saying that. My PvP skills are not where they used to be compared to when this game started. And it'll happen to you at some point. So I am thoroughly enjoying more PvE, and I do very much appreciate good PvP. That's where I stand on this topic. But I do feel it's time for CIG to step up and show us what are your PvE plans for this game. Now let's read in some more comments. This one always gets top rated. All servers are PvE, all players versus elevators. There will come a time, Kane Keen, that the elevators will not kill us. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. Parkstor saying, yep, couldn't agree more. I was promised a PvP, PvE slider. Now, we've laughed at the past. In the past, we've laughed about that because the idea of having a slider there, it's kind of in the beginning, yes, but as the game has developed, we've kind of put that aside, and I don't think it's viable. If any of you guys are more technically aware of the systems in this game, is that even something which is viable at this stage? Because I'm not sure it is. Comment by Jesuto says, Elite did it well. Open PvE and private servers. World of Warcraft do the PvP server zones flagging dual arenas. Like you said, gamers will find a way, and they'll find the game system, troll the players, pull mobs, NPCs into stations just for the lulz. That is a fair opinion, and this last line here wraps up nicely. CIG needs to expect the worst from people and plan and develop their systems accordingly. Absolutely true. Cobalt Traven says, another game called Fallout 76. And yes, actually, I'm still playing that. Now, in 76, you can simply turn off PvP completely. What's interesting in Fallout 76 is they had PvP servers, and the PvP servers died because there weren't enough PvP players in them. Everyone gravitated towards PvE and stuck there. So in Fallout 76, I think it's a special case because I think Fallout is more of a single-player game, and Fallout 76 tried to introduce PvP to it, and that just failed. What happened to the, what was it called, Nuclear Winter? If anyone is still playing Fallout 76, what happened to Nuclear Winter? I believe it simply died down. That's the PvP servers, because there was simply not enough people interested in PvP. Monk Darlington coming in for the PvE crowd said, I 100% support this. Give us a PvE server with flagging war system so there can be meaningful PvP, not just ganks people trying to enjoy themselves. In every MMO I know, the PvE servers are most popular and have had better PvP. People always want to PvP. That is an interesting point, and it's got to do with consensual PvP. When you want to PvP, what game does it right now? New World. New World does this. You can flag yourself open to PvP or not. So if you want to go in and just chop down trees and not be bothered, you can just flag PvE and go do that, and they can't harm you. But if you want to go PvP, you turn it on and off you go. I like that system. Someone who plays New World, let me know how that's going. I played in the beginning. I haven't played for a long time. But I'm curious to know what's happening in New World with that system. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'll be curious to hear how they're doing. Here's one from Arnell saying, I belong to PvP orgs. At the moment, I've taken a long break from Star Citizen as it's become too much of a time sink. A sink, I think you want to spell with an I. I think a PvE server is a great idea. Really? Interesting. So here we have a PvP guy saying he wants more PvE. Interesting. Lame is the new cool, saying 90% NPC to 10% play. What he's referring to here is what Chris Roberts said, that majority of this game, when it's going to be out, is you'll come across NPCs more than you will players. I think while that's the plan, it might not be true in highly contested or important zones. So when there's something to mine somewhere or there's some event happening, that's not going to be 90% NPCs. That's going to be players. But I agree. I think we do need to be patient and let's see how it pans out, because odds are most of the time you will just come across NPCs. Bearded Lone Wolf, every MMO should have PvE and PvP servers. Simply separate characters. You can't bring a character from PvE to PvP and vice versa. It's not magic. You don't need to remove anything. Interesting concept. So if they do spin up a PvE server, keep it completely separate from everything else, and there's no crossover between the two. Yeah, you know what? I mean, besides the cost of servers, not a terrible idea. The argument against that would be that majority of the players will flock to PvE. This is what happened in Fallout 76. They gave you an option of PvE and PvP. Everyone just shuffled over to PvE and PvP died. That is why you'll see the PvP players crying and screaming their eyes and vomiting at the idea of a PvE option, because all the people they want to shoot at are not there to be the targets anymore. So that's why you see a lot of this, because the idea of not having people to shoot at, and the only people you can shoot at are other PvPers, is a nightmare scenario for the most PvP hungry crowd, because last thing you want as a PvPer is to go up against someone that wants to shoot you too. We'll do one more comment here, and then we'll take a break and follow up on that. But here's Quinnet Singh Leaf saying, I backed the game for PvE for years. All I see now is PvP. Interesting. Okay, so the single player part, Squadron 42, is the PvE that I'm looking forward to. I've always expected the MMO part to be PvP, but I do expect regions in the PvP area in the universe to be PvE friendly. We have yet to see truly PvE friendly gameplay from CIG. There is no cave, no outpost, no asteroid, no moon that you can go to where you are safe. You will always be shot at if another player finds you. That is what I want to see a solution to. There is no clear solution right now, but I think it's an interesting discussion. So with that said, guys, let's wrap it up here, and I'll be digging through more comments and making more videos on this. But for the time being, everyone pray for SalteMike. We hope he recovers from the shock to his system. And I'll see you guys in the next one.